Hey, everybody. Welcome to Prophetic Lifestyles with Bernard Bolton. Listen, I need your help. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and then make sure that you click the bell so you can get notified when we make future videos. Also, I need you to like this video and then I need you to share it. We're trying to reach our niche or our market, or we're trying to reach the congregation of prophetic people, and I just need your help. Okay, so today I want to talk about Halloween, and we're calling this a prophetic response to Halloween. We're going to share our opinions on Halloween, and then we want to get your feedback in the comment section. Okay, so we know that Halloween is a annual tradition. It's celebrated by people all over the world. October the 31st is the date, but there has always been a debate about whether the church, Christians, followers of Jesus, should participate in Halloween, and is participating in Halloween, is it consistent or parallel with our faith? And so while some argue that Halloween is a harmless and fun secular celebration, other believe that this holiday has pagan roots and it promotes ungodly practices, and it is full of witchcraft and occultic practices. Okay, and so we want to look at the various perspectives from a prophetic sense. And when I use the word prophetic, of course, I'm speaking about from the heart of God, hearing the voice of God as it relates to Halloween. Okay, now I do believe that, and first let's talk about the origins of Halloween. And of course, Halloween, it goes back to this ancient Celtic festival, which marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. And the Celtic people believe that on the night of October the 31st, that the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred. And so they lit bonfires and wore costumes to ward off evil spirits that were being released in the earth on this particular night. Now, as Christianity began to spread around the world, then the church attempted to Christianize many pagan celebrations, and eventually this harvest festival became known as All Hallows Eve. And so the church actually, by renaming it, they were trying to take away the demonic connotation and the purpose of this festival. They were trying to take it away. And then they also the church instituted on November the 1st, what is called All Saints Day. And so the name Halloween is really derived from a Christian tradition. Did you know that? And despite its being rebranded, many believers over the centuries believe that Halloween still retained elements of its pagan origins, and it is incompatible with Christian belief. Okay, and so a prophetic perspective, I do believe that there are that Halloween can be viewed as a family or a community celebration, but I also believe that there is for those who are going after the demonic, that there's also a level of darkness associated with Halloween. So it really depends on how light is your function in Halloween, or how much how much are you entering into the darkness? Like some people on Halloween, they purposely connect with the occult, and through Ouija boards and tarot card readings and palm readings and such as that. And if you purposely engage in those things, then you open the door to darkness, to the kingdom of darkness, the kingdom of Satan, and you bring a lot of the practices of witchcraft and the occult into your life. On the other hand, if it's just simply a family fun day or a community celebration where you're connecting with your neighbors, you're giving candy away to children, or you're passing out gifts, then that is a level, and I'm not saying I'm for it, but what I'm saying is that if that's the level that you're operating in, then you are not really entering into the darkness that is associated. Okay. And so what I believe is that participating in Halloween is not inherently sinful or ungodly, but as long as your activities aligns with Christian values, as long, like if you're looking at Halloween evangelistically and so you're going out to engage with your community, to build a relationship with your neighbors, to share the message of God's love, then Halloween is a time for God's people to be light in darkness. Okay. And so rather than retreating from the darkness, we're actually going into the darkness as light. And then there are, and I know when I was a pastor in the 90s, the church that I pastored, we actually followed the pattern of a lot of churches, and we would have what we called Harvest Festival. I believe that started in the 90s, and we would not call it Halloween. And we would have the young people from our church and from the community would come, and then we would have an event at the church where they were safe, and it was family friendly. The environment was church oriented, and we allowed the children to have a good time. Okay. Now there are others, and so I don't believe it's wrong to celebrate as long as you're celebrating it in alignment with your faith and your values. But then for others, it's nothing wrong with avoiding Halloween all completely, okay? Because again, if you're looking at Halloween, you're looking at the origin, you're looking at some of the modern practices, you're looking at how Halloween actually promotes darkness. And yes, it does promote darkness, occultism. There is a release of fear. If you are not careful, you can actually open the door to demonic presence in your family, in your home. Okay. And if that's your thinking, then you should abstain from Halloween altogether. All right. But this is ultimately what I believe is the prophetic response. I believe, because the Apostle Paul says we are to redeem the times because the days are evil. And I believe that Halloween is an opportunity for us to take what is evil and to redeem the times. Okay. And so we redeem Halloween by taking authority over it and then operating in it opposite of its origin, or operating in it separate, or operating in such a way where we elevate Christ in the midst of Halloween. Okay. Now, this is something that I love about God. When God was creating the heavens and earth, Genesis 1 said God saw the darkness. He saw the darkness and he called it night. And when God called the darkness night, he was actually taking over the darkness by giving it a name. And so when we also, like God, can use our authority in Jesus Christ, because he has given us authority, and we can call Halloween something different, even though understanding that the term Halloween actually comes from the church. All right. And so we can redeem the holiday from the way we act and from the way we demonstrate in the midst of this Halloween. All right. So wherever you are, this is my counsel to you. Leave room for choice. And one of the things that I think we have to do as a prophetic people is we have to stop judging everyone who may have a different belief or a different opinion. For us individually, we should pray. We should pray considering our activities. Now, I will not be active in Halloween. And only because I don't have children, I'll be at work, and so I'll be preparing to go to work. And there are young people where I work, but I will not be specifically participating in Halloween myself, and have not been for many years. But I want to say that if you do celebrate Halloween, you're not wrong. If you don't celebrate Halloween, you're not wrong. Okay. Ultimately, the decision to celebrate Halloween has to be personal, and it has to be led by the Spirit of God. Okay. And so there was a period when I was anti-Halloween, against it, because I only saw the demonism in it. And now that I'm operating probably more so in the love of God than I have throughout my walk with him, the love of God has given me a tolerance. Now, tolerance does not mean agreement, but it has given me a heart to allow people to do what they want to do without me taking a text on them and preaching about their ungodliness and their wickedness. I do believe that God wants us to reconcile the world. And ultimately, that means that if you're hearing God relating to Halloween, then you do what you're hearing from the voice of the Lord. This is what I love about being prophetic, because being prophetic means that we are breaking the filters of religion, the filters of tradition, and the filters of the opinions of man that create fear of man in us. Some of you don't do Halloween because you are afraid of what other believers are going to say, or what your church leaders are going to say, and that's fear of man. That the Bible calls that a snare. But when you are operating prophetically and the love of God is moving you, okay, I don't have to celebrate Halloween, but I don't have to condemn or criticize those that do. But I do need to speak a warning, however. And in this instance, I need to speak a warning. If you are celebrating Halloween, be sure that you are not opening yourself up to the principalities and the workers of evil. Okay, so there are certain activities that you need to abstain from. Okay, so Ouija boards, tarot card reading, palm readings, horoscopes, those type of things can actually open the door in your life. It can open the door in your life to the demonic, to demons actually coming in and then disrupting your life, your family, your relationships, your business, and all of that. So that's my warning. But I also want to say that if you are doing it by wisdom, if you're celebrating Halloween by wisdom, it's a time of family, time of community, time of engagement, then I want to encourage you, and I want to say to you, go forward in the name of Jesus, okay? And remember that the light is always greater than the darkness, and we have authority over the darkness because God called the darkness night. All right, so that's my prophetic perspective on Halloween. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. We'll see you real soon.